101 part-time jobs. A few years ago, I was like, no one really talks about a lot of the madness of being in a band. And even if you are in that position where you can tour and release records, that actually when you're coming home, you got to find another job to keep on doing it. And I think there's tension there, because there's tension if you're like the artist, and that's going to be a conflict of emotions. On one hand, labels and business are working with you because it's like a profession, but on the other hand, it's not paying for anything. And then from a fan's point of view, it's like when you see someone on a big stage, you think, it makes sense. Like, oh, this is
they shouldn't have to work.
Yeah, and I think that there's tension all over the place there.
One time I was working merch for like somebody random. I was like doing like kind of like merch just for a venue. This kid had like seen us play in LA. I guess it was his brother. I was doing merch for his brother, and I like finished and I was going home, and he came up to me and he was like, I just like wanted to know, like, why are you here doing this? And I was like, I don't know, it's a job. They'd been at the show and I guess thought that there would be no reason for me to have to be selling merch.
Yeah. And it kind of, you can kind of see both sides, right? You know what it's like when you see a band. You don't think that they're going to, on Monday morning, go to the stacking shelves job.
I don't know. I think that ever since I saw Mark Ibold from Pavement bartending, I'm like, yeah, I guess like anything's really possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool being served by someone like that.
Almost, yeah. I mean, almost too cool. I really wanted to be like, hey man, like, love your work. Yeah. But instead I had to be like, thank you for my drink tickets.
Yeah. Touring in the States is a whole different, I mean, the States is just so big. And is that still the way that people find out about your band, do you think? Is that where you glean? Like, do people find out about Water From Your Eyes? And this is Lorelei from you touring, going around the States?
We did a lot of opening tours in the last few years that a lot of people had never heard of us before. So that's probably the main way people were finding out about us.
And that requires from you, that's like, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to spend the time doing it. Because I think it feels like there's like a huge different lifestyle from being at home and being able to track records, record records when you have the time, to then being like, okay, we're going to go away now for 3 weeks at a time, 5 times throughout the year.
We kind of had some catching up to do because we made a lot of records, but just really hadn't toured. So then when we had the opportunity to begin touring, it kind of felt like an appropriate place to put in the work.
You played a long set of Primavera, and Rachel, I was impressed about how you kept up that dance throughout the whole, it was like over an hour, I think, that show at Primavera.
I was actually just talking to actor Michael Shannon last night about performing. We were talking about Iggy Pop, because that guy's really old, and Paul McCartney, and I was like, Paul McCartney is like, what, in his 80s, and he does 3 hours at a time? I was like, I don't think I could do more than an hour. And Michael Shannon was like, it's not that much.
But and like the dance, you got like, great. I don't want to make you feel self-conscious and talk about talk about your dancing to you. You inspired me. There's a good.
That's good. That's what I want. I want people to dance. I mean, like, I don't really want people to notice that I'm dancing, but I want other people to dance.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have to dance. I also love dancing. I mean, especially like in a crowd setting, like as a crowd member, I love to dance.
Yep. I think it's a primal way to receive the art.
Yeah.
Receive the music.
I think it's like a really freeing and visceral experience that just can't really be mimicked. That's why I love disco music. That music was really made to dance to.
That's why ska punk is good.
Yeah.
Because if you grew up going to ska punk shows, everyone there looks kind of silly dancing, but that's the beauty of it. And that's a great way to learn to get into to music. But then I guess the sad thing is, I'm projecting here, but I think I'm not the only one, is you get into your 20s, you stop listening to ska punk, and then at the gig, you're like, I can't dance, I look like a dick. But who cares?
You can dance, for sure.
Yeah, if you want to dance, then dance.
Yeah, you can dance to anything too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I dance to silence, you know?
I went to see Springsteen with my mum and my brother and my sister. It was like the first family trip we'd had in like 15, 20 years. And the feeling of standing behind my mum where she's doing that with both arms to the boss, I'll never forget.
That's how I felt when I saw my mom watching Beck. She was like, I didn't realize how much of a Beck fan she is
Yeah.
until while we were like in the crowd at a festival that they'd come to see us play. And she was like going crazy for Beck.
Hell yeah. It's the Beck effect.
I've mostly just been on
Thank you.
like a freelance grind since before we started touring, where I've just been like mixing and producing music for other people. I mean, for me, like working on Water from Your Eyes or Lorelei is like that's what keeps working on music fun. So it's like it's such a different experience working on other people's music and working on your own music that working on my own music is kind of how I decompress from working on other people's music, and I'm usually doing it simultaneously. Like I'll kind of like split the day 50-50.
Yeah. That must be refreshing because I think there's like doing this show, like I actually don't have like a philosophy of what anyone else should, I don't think anyone else should do anything. People should do what they want to do, right? Each to their own. But I think there's probably something in like doing stuff that you don't want to do as much as things you do want to do. So there is that like actual light and shade. I mean, you work in the daytime so you can go skateboarding afterwards or go swimming in the sea or something. And, that's what makes that activity fun.
Yeah, you need the contrast.
Yeah. Living in Brooklyn, has that been, everyone knows, London's expensive, Brooklyn's expensive, everything's expensive.
I didn't have an apartment for a year and a half. I was just like...
Very patient friends.
Yeah, shout out to my friends, Anna and Greg. They really saved my life. Actually, I have so many friends who really helped me out in the last year and a half with helping me like sleep somewhere. Yeah, I have like keys to actually both of their apartments now, which is nice because I finally got an apartment. I locked myself out of my apartment, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just go to Anna's or Greg's. It's like the middle of the night, so I just broke in, pretty much.
You broke it.
I literally I ended up going to my friend Anna's because she had keys to my apartment, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just go back in the morning, and yeah, it was 2 a.m. and I just let myself in. Her roommate's never home, so I just went into her roommate's room, made myself at home, woke up in the morning. We hung out. She was like, yeah, I actually woke up at 4 a.m. really randomly, but I saw your text. I'm I never wake up at night, but I guess. And it wasn't even because of noise I was making. She just happened to wake up. She was like, I guess it's good that I woke up in the middle of the night because then I just knew you were in the room next to
you were
me.
Safe. Do you ever go through moments where you're like, I haven't actually used my own shower gel or shampoo for months? You've been using someone else's that's in the shower that you're using.
Maybe I'm a bad house guest, but I'm they're not gonna notice.
I suppose there is would you notice? I think I would notice. I think I would notice if someone took a dollop of my head and shoulders.
I wouldn't notice. I also wouldn't care. I feel like if someone was taking a shower at my house, I'd be go crazy. Yeah, I honestly, I expect people, because I have obviously my own things that I travel with, but it's kind of a hassle to get everything out of your bag all the time. So I get it if people don't want to use their, when I go home to my parents, I don't use my
no, of course not.
Toiletries, or when I go to my boyfriend's, I don't use my own stuff.
That's the luxury.
Yeah, so
my partner gets pissed off if I use her shampoo. I think it's special shampoo.
Does she have really nice shampoo?
Yeah, it's something, I don't know what's nice about it, but
you know what, I've been using my friend's shampoo, and I don't know if she knows, but she has so many different kinds in there, and her roommate's never home. And I'm well, if Tiffany's not gonna use her own shampoo, then but I don't know which was which, so I kind of just use whatever. I'm not there enough for it to like really be mattering.
Yeah. It's only a couple of dollops. It's good.
Yeah, especially like I had short hair for a while. I was doing a lot of work in film and television before we started touring, and I feel pretty lucky. I was just talking to somebody about this, but all the strikes happened like a year into us touring, and so like what I was doing would have been screwed over anyways.
Yeah. What kind of stuff were you doing?
It was just like a PA. It's
Yeah.
just like getting coffees, picking up trash, driving cargo vans. Some days were awesome. I mean, sometimes you just go to work and there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Hang
around.
And it's super chill, and everyone on the crew is super awesome and fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go to work and it lasts like 18 hours. And you're like, I literally don't know why any of us are here.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like it should be this long. The thing is, like, when I PA'd, like, I just didn't really care. I never asked what the job was. And then, like, on set, like, I wouldn't go watch what they were doing because, like, I don't care. I've straight up it took me, like, a full day and a half to find out I was on an Apple commercial that was being directed by the guy who did Ghostbusters and his son, who was the guy who did Juno. I was like, that's crazy. I've just been sitting in a van. I had no idea that's what was going on over there. I don't know what the show was, but I was talking to the guy, the director, and he directs Love Island
Okay.
and like Too Hot to Handle, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch that stuff?
I have. I don't it's too many episodes, so I can't like keep up with it. I actually do find the UK version endearing though. I like all the little words they use.
Like what?
I was like, let's go for a chat.
Yeah.
And it's early days, and I'm mugged off, and
Fucking mugging me off.
yeah, exactly.
Boss man. I suppose you wouldn't get boss man on Love Actually. You get boss man if you're at an off license down the bodega.
I don't call him anything. I just say hey, and he goes hi. I think it's like a guy thing.
What the
boss?
Yeah.
Like, because he's not calling me boss, so I'm not calling him boss.
Shit,
We're
just be a guy thing.
kind of just like there's no names. We don't use names. But I know like whenever Nate goes to his bodega.
Oh yeah.
Don't call me boss. I moved recently and I miss my old bodega guy because I would just be like, how you doing? And he would just be like singing and not saying anything to me. And I would just kind of like dance a little bit. I'd be like, have a good one. He would just keep singing.
We've got a good neighbors. When my partner and I got engaged, we went for
Congrats.
Thank you. We went for a few beers in the afternoon and didn't like black out or anything, but just sort of the day went fuzzy. And the next morning we were walking down the road and like every shop person was like, congratulations, well done. So he must have just come down the street like, what? What's that? We just got engaged. Hey, thanks for the chat. I got one or two more questions left, which I think there's a lot of speaking earlier about long German words to describe aptly a feeling. Schadenfreude or Schadenfreude is one I think about a lot. Enjoying someone else's, momentary pain. Have you had some really awful jobs?
I mean, anything with the customer. I worked at a fake Indian restaurant that was like
what?
It was a fake Indian restaurant, and it was like run by these people who were like in a cult. And
what was fake about it?
There was no one Indian.
Yeah.
There was no one Indian anywhere, nowhere in the entire establishment. None of the owners. They were two white people from the Hamptons. And I should have known. It was called Hampton and Chutney. It was also like I literally got the job and I didn't ask any questions. It was like a friend of a friend. So I just went and they were like, you can work here. Yeah. And then a couple days in, I was just like, hey, like, are the owners white? And then at one point they were like, oh yeah, and they like They might be in like a cult, and they were like, we were like in the basement, and they were like, yeah, like all the photos of like all the Indian people you see on the walls, they're like the people that lead the ashram that they belong to in India. But like it's really hard, like they might, like we don't know if they're actually in a cult. And I was like, I don't know, man. They have like the photo of the woman like next to the clock in and clock out machine where nobody else is coming except us. I think they're in a cult.
The person in the picture is watching them.
Literally, like it
Well,
was
what
like
do you?
it's like one of the, like when how people like have like pictures of Jesus everywhere. It was like
He's watching.
right next to the clock in clock out machine. Nobody else is going down into the basement besides people who work there. So I'm like, they're like, yes, that they're in a cult.
Were you tempted to go downstairs to see what was going on
Well, I was working, so I had to.
in the basement?
Yeah, I had to go down there all the time.
What was down there?
Just like fridges, and like I had to clock the machine to clock in and clock out, and like
there wasn't a secret room. I thought you were going to say there was a secret room.
no, there's supposedly like a ghost down there, so I don't really like being down there that much. But
Seen any ghosts in your life?
I haven't. I'm very closed off to that. I
Spiritually.
believe in it, but I'm very open to life, closed to death. I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
If I'm in the same room as a ghost, I'm like, hey, just so you know, ghosts, like, I'm chill. You be chill. Like, I don't want to mess with your vibe. Please don't mess with mine.
Death is certain.
Death
Life
is
is not.
certain.
Training Day. Denzel.
Oh, you know what? I've never seen that.
It's a good film.
Yeah, I mean, Denzel Washington's in it. He's great.
I watched it for the first time last week. It's sick.
Oh, okay.
Get on it. I'm going to get that tattooed on me as well.
Did you watch Gladiator 2 on the plane?
I don't watch any movies on the plane.
Do you raw dog it?
I fall asleep. Even when I've tried to watch movies, I just fall asleep.
By proxy, you raw dog it. Have you into that? You aware of that concept, like raw dogging flights?
Yeah. I hate it. I literally think that's not that I hate the concept of not doing anything on a flight, but I'm like
Giving it a
it's
name.
Not
Giving it a trend. It's a TikTok trend, right?
Yeah, it's not impressive to me for you to like meditate.
Yeah.
Like call it what it is.
You can't tell anyone else how to live. You know, if they want to meditate, they should be able to meditate, right?
But then I'm like, I don't need to see a TikTok of it. I just don't think I'm like, okay, like you're not doing anything. Like, guess what? People weren't doing anything for like thousands of years. There's thousands of years where people were raw dogging life. Like,
And they didn't have a choice. Like, imagine like how they would feel when you have all this stuff at your fingertips and you're still choosing not to do it. They would have loved Gladiator 2.
also, even if you want to just not do anything, no one needs to know. No one needs to know whether or not you're doing things or not doing things on an airplane.
But this is like an everyday battle. Like, why'd you put things in your stories? Why'd you post shit?
I only post things when I need stuff. And so sometimes I kind of do just be posting random things so I stay in the algorithm in case I need something.
Would you
in a
ask
few
for?
days. It kind of like anything for sets, so like props or people. Sometimes like I ask for favors. I mean, like all the time I ask for favors. Sometimes I ask for favors for other people I know.
You got a plectrum, you got a guitar lead, you got a dog.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not the dog part, because
What was the last good thing you think you got for free?
oh my god, I got a person, a 6'4" skinny guy who could be a ghost in my music video. My friend Aaron is very tall and very skinny. He's like literally a model, and he got sick during so he couldn't come to the shoot, but he'd already been in the video from the day before. So I posted on Instagram being like, I need like 6'4" guy who's like wire thin, who's in Bed-Stuy and like can be here like at this like set in like an hour. And somebody came through. It was
An
crazy.
hour.
Yeah,
good.
and it was somebody who like it turns out everybody knew. But it was
going.
so awesome because I was like, he literally, because I put him in a black morph suit and he looks exactly like Aaron. That was great. That was really awesome.
What was that for? What's that project?
It was for the model actress music video I directed.
Hell yeah. You direct music videos. Great.
Yeah, I do that. sometimes.
when you can?
Yeah, actually I was supposed to do a bunch like in this time period, but I've been like renovating the apartment that I just moved into.
That sounds
I
fun.
rent though, so it's kind of crazy actually how much work I'm doing. I'm like renting an apartment and I'm like renovating it.
Okay.
I changed a light. I'm like changing light fixtures.
Do your landlord ask you to do that? Or you ask them?
My landlord was like, if I find somebody, if I have to get somebody to clean and paint, it's gonna take like another 2 months, and then I'll probably just rent it to somebody else. And I was like, I can paint. That'll
get
take like
cheaper
3
rent for that?
days. He took off $300.
Not bad.
Well, except that it's taken much longer than the 3 days.
Maybe you can text him after this and be like,
I
make it
am
800.
very curious for him to come see the place because it is looking really good now.
Good to hear.
I've been scrubbing the floors. I'm pretty sure the dirt's been on the ground since the 50s.
Nate, give us one shite job to end with.
I used to I got hired to do live sound at this brewery venue. That really, like, it was a small room that was mainly for eating, but I would transform it into the showroom, and I would have to carry up the whole sound system from the basement, set it up, and pretty consistently the people who played there would show up and be like, what the fuck is this? This is a tiny room. And I'd be like, I don't know, man. I just work here. And then they would be giving me a hard time about stuff. And I'd be like, why aren't you like mad at your agent? Why are you mad at me?
Yeah.
It was actually much more of the main parts of the job were just bussing dishes and then like trying to kick a bunch of drunk people out of a room that they really didn't want to leave. The sound teching was actually a very small part of it. The most stressful part for me was having to kick these people out. But I'm not really a yeller. I'm not really a kicker outer.
I was thinking,
So
I can't imagine you
like,
yelling.
No, I think if I did that job now, I would be a lot less nice to these people. Fucking trumpet players, dude. There's some nothing against all trumpet players. It's just there are a couple that are just like left a bad taste in my mouth and a bad sound in my ears.
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Lauren Maybury of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.